Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites. My name is Clifton, and welcome to another Thursday night live stream. It is officially summer. I am so excited. I've looked forward to this week, pretty much this whole year. I live in Southern California. The weather has been atrocious this year, probably the worst winter since I've moved here. So thankfully, it's starting to warm up a bit right on time. So I wanted to do a stream and talk about my favorite summer whiskeys. Now, all of these are brand new whiskeys. That's actually kind of a last minute theming idea, but I think it's wildly appropriate for all three of these new whiskeys. I think they are some fun ones that you're going to be enjoying this entire season and onwards. But first, I wanted to just have some whiskey on ice. Typical, what I drink in the summer is high proof whiskey on ice. Now, this one isn't high proof. It's just I poured some of my George Dickel 15 year because I've had this for a while. So I was like, what's something lighter, fruitier, and will hold up on ice? And so far, so good. So I want to have something in my glass just to set me in the summertime mood. But I am curious what all of you at home are drinking. If you're watching the replay, feel free to skip around down below. I'll put time codes for all three of these whiskeys we're reviewing, as well as feel free to comment and let me know your favorite summertime whiskeys. So I see Emily says school's out, but the Cliffy bus is early. Yes, gotta rep my Cliffy bus merch, which y'all can find at bourbonbites.threadless.com. I think there's a sale going on right now, just FYI, if you want your Cliffy bus merch. Also some other cool designs there as well. But hello, Emily, good to see you. Five fingers here in the chat. High five to you. Taste and sensibility. Early bird, man. So many early folks coming out tonight. Cheers to you. Slowly getting my voice back. I've been under the weather the past week. I think last week I did my stream right as I was getting sick, and now I'm like coming out the tail end of it. So coming out the tail end of it, that sounds weird, but you get where I'm going with that. So apologies for the scratchy voice, but thankfully I still have all my taste, which is the most important thing to have with the Whiskey Review channel. Just letting y'all know. Zover's in the chat. What's up, Alfonso? Good to see you. James Taylor, Don Nishida, aloha to you, my friend. Steven Sussman in the chat. Adam Free, the winner from last week's whiskey Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. Adam, your samples should have arrived today, or if not today, tomorrow. So keep an eye out for those coming soon. Sipping some EH Taylor single barrel that my wife got me for my birthday. Well, happy belated birthday, or happy birthday, James. That's a great bottle to get as a gift. Your wife obviously knows how to pick them. William Hall in the chat. Remus Bourbon Junkies pick the other barrel here in the glass. Nice. I actually almost grabbed some Remus. When I was trying to think of something to have just in the glass before I started the stream, I almost grabbed a Remus Repeal Reserve, but I'm like, nah, I want something, a little lighter and fruitier. So I went with the Dickel. Nothing better than Dickel on ice. Actually, I could think of quite a few things better, but nah, you know what? It hit the spot right now. Taste and sensibility is sipping some Green River Wheated at the moment. I've been hearing so much more about Green River lately. I need to look into that. I don't think it's out here in Southern California, if I'm correct. I think someone was mentioning it last week or the week before, but someone else was talking about that whiskey. So I have to keep an eye out. Donnie says, hey. Well, hello, Donnie. Good to see you, my friend. Nimrax is in the chat. Cheers to you. I think I've got everyone. If I missed you, feel free to stick around, say hello. I'm keeping an eye on the chat, but I'm excited to get into these whiskeys. Like I said, all three new to me whiskeys. These all came out this year, if I remember correctly. So, and most of them within the past couple months. So I'm really, really excited to get into them. Of course, the first of which is the Bardstown Discovery Series. I'll get into the details in a bit. This was sent to me by the brand. Everything else I purchased on my own. So I'm giving my full honest opinions on all three of them, but just always like to be clear about that in the video if I am reviewing something. Bardstown Bourbon Company, they take good care of it. They send me good samples of all their fun releases. So shout out to those folks. I love every chance I get to try all of their releases. So I haven't had the Fusion Series in a couple releases, but I did get this one. So thank you to whoever threw my name in the hat out there. Don said I stopped putting my Dickel on ice because shrinkage. I knew the jokes would be coming, but nah. No, too early. It's only 7 minutes in. So cheers to Dickel on ice. But that's not why y'all are here. Y'all are here to watch me review all three of these whiskeys. Let me go through the line and let you know what we're trying here tonight. Brandon in Delaware. Cheers to you, Brandon. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Tim Tam Slam is intrigued by Discovery 10. Anxious to hear my thoughts. Well, I am also intrigued by it because this is based on the specs alone, this is a fun one. So we'll get into that in a minute. Fred Gilbert in the chat as well. Good to see you, Fred. I am seeing a lot of patrons here. Hey, I put up a question in the VIP lounge on Discord. We do our monthly movie night for everyone, $5 and up on Patreon. If you are curious about getting in on that, we're going to have that one very, very soon. I'll put the link down below. But we picked Beetlejuice as this month's movie. So you guys voted on it. So we're going to watch it together. I asked if maybe tomorrow night works for y'all. Let me know if it works for you. I know I'm a little bit behind with it. We're supposed to do it every month. So if we have to move it to the beginning of July, that's fine too. Might do a double feature kind of night situation. But just curious who would maybe be available. So let me know on Discord if you are available tomorrow night. But otherwise, we can maybe do a double feature kind of thing next month. That could be a lot of fun too. So apologies for the delay. I'm gonna have family in town next week, so I didn't want to commit to doing it next week. So it's either tomorrow or a double feature for July. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let's see. Now sipping some Dickel 2020 Bottle and Bond, 13-year goodness from 2007. Nice. Good choice. Have to wait until the Cliffy bus arrives for the shrinkage jokes. Exactly. See, Nimrax knows what's up. Have any of your media samples ever been drastically different from the regular bottles? Great question. I've not really done a full direct comparison. I have noticed some like minor differences, like where I really either loved or maybe didn't like a media sample, and then like the actual one I either enjoyed a little bit more or disliked a little bit more. Nothing drastic though. I've never noticed that. But again, it could happen. Again, they all have labels on them that say, not for resale. Sometimes they say like, oh, from the lab. So like sometimes they are a little bit different, but for the most part, I mean, it benefits the brand to not make them different because, right, they send them out to get you to review them before they put it on the shelf. So that seems like the not ideal, but I know it happens. Discovery 10 already. Oh yeah. Well, so let's talk through what we're trying tonight. So first, of course, is the Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series 10, coming in at 114.24%. Like I said, this was a fun one. I can't wait to get through the specs of that one. Next up is a brand new release from Jim Beam, one of my top 2 favorite distilleries in Kentucky. This is, oops, sorry, that might have been loud. I apologize. Clermont Steep, malted barley American single malt whiskey, coming in at 47% ABV. Brand new single malt from Jim Beam. Like, to me, that's wild. But I cannot wait to give this one a try. Beautiful packaging, I will say. Like, it's like really, really nicely designed label. I can't wait to give this a try. If y'all remember a couple weeks back, I tried the Yellowstone single malt, which is very, very similar. Both of them are aged in new American oak. So I might have brought that bottle out, maybe do a little side by side. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to get into this one. And lastly, because we have to save this, not best for last, but the smokiest for last, the brand new release from Ardbeg BizarreBQ. So this one's another fun label. It's smoky, it's barbecuey, it is the perfect summer Islay Scotch. So we're gonna save that one for the end. I just played BizarreBQ, barbecue, summer barbecue. I mean, that was actually the inspiration behind the theme tonight. So it's a little loose, but you know what? We get a little loose here. So that's how it's gonna go. Johnny says, "How did you get the BizarreBQ?" I bought it from K&L here in Southern California, so it was available. It's not currently available. I did check for another bottle of it, but I have seen it popping up at a few different stores around here. So I don't know if it's just maybe distributed in California a little differently, but it's pretty decently available, and it's actually not a bad price, at least what I paid for it. So we'll get into that very, very soon. Emily says, speaking of behind, sale is on now. Behind. I was like, wait, what? But awesome. Yes. Yeah, there is a sale. Yeah, there's always, I feel like Threadless always has sales. I don't set the sales, they just happen. So that if you want to get your Cliffy Bus merch or your Bourbon Bites or your Bite Club or your Player 1, Player 2 shirts, now's a great time to get them. But I appreciate the shout out. Anyone that buys merch, seriously, love y'all. Send me photos of you wearing it. I love it. I'd love to feature it on the store itself. The Bite Club shirt should have vampire fangs on it somewhere. Hey, might have a Halloween exclusive. Great idea, James. Y'all give me the best ideas. So maybe we'll do a Halloween exclusive version of Bite Club. That's fun. I like that. Ardbeg reminds me of Cuphead. Oh, totally. It has that like 2030s cartoon aesthetic for sure. Donnie's here for the BizarreBQ. Oh, me too. Me too. We get a little loose here. Absolutely. Tony says, happy first day of summer. Beetlejuice. Tomorrow's night is fine with me. All right. So I'll ping the group again later. I know I posted that like randomly in the middle of the day. So I might have to ask y'all later. If we don't do it tomorrow, we will do it early July. So yeah, I have not seen Beetlejuice. That's the fun thing about these 80s movie nights. There's so many movies that I haven't watched that I feel like I should have. So that's why you guys come together and watch them with me. So I'm really excited for that one. I've seen like clips from it, but I've never actually sat down and watched it. All right, y'all ready to get into some of these new whiskeys? New summer 2023 hot whiskey summer. I was actually going to title this stream Hot Whiskey Summer, but I didn't want people to think I was like making like hot toddies, because I'm pretty sure they call them hot whiskeys in like Ireland or Scotland or something. I feel like I remember watching what's her name? Kiara Doherty. She used to be on one of those Irish people try channels, so I guess Ireland. And I feel like she called it a hot whiskey. So I didn't want to put hot whiskey in the thumbnail. We're not trying these hot. They're room temperature or over ice. However you like to drink your whiskey, drink it. But I don't think warm Ardbeg sounds very good. I don't know. Maybe not to me. Maybe to you. You know, you do you. Ryan's here in the chat as well. So glad that you and Brandon can join. I'm so happy to see you. Let me know what y'all are drinking on tonight. Hopefully you have something good in your glass. Speaking of good in the glass, I'm getting something in my glass right about now. So we're going to start with the Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series 10, the latest release from them. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've had a Bardstown Bourbon Company. I think actually some of you guys sent me some samples of some of their special releases lately. But I'm so glad that they felt the need to send me a sample. So I always appreciate good media partners that do that. They also sent me some fun bourbon truffles, which I do plan to try tonight on the stream as well. So they sent me these small batch bourbon truffles that are infused with Discovery Series 10. These are so cute, and I'm not going to hold them up because last time I tried to do this, I did it on a Dungeons and Drams stream, and I spilt my whiskey sour. Bill, of course, made a YouTube short of that, but they're these cute little bourbon-infused truffles. So we're going to save that for the end because I don't want to like throw off my palate as I get into these different whiskeys, but y'all have to remind me, cannot forget about these bourbon truffles. I've never had a bourbon-infused truffle, but I'm really, really curious and really, really excited. So thank you again to Bardstown Bourbon Company. Let's talk about this new whiskey, though. Let me put something on my screen. I think I can share the website real quick. Let's see. All right, Discovery Series 10. I mostly wanted to share this so you guys could see what went into this bottle. So here's the blend here. Really, really interesting. So you'll notice a lot of it's from Kentucky. So if you do the math, which I am not good at doing in my head, comes up to, let's see, 70, 80, 88% Kentucky bourbon. Minimum 6 years old. Most of it is 9 years old to 13 years old. 10% of Georgia corn. I mean, I guess it could be, it's all bourbon, right? 80% corn whiskey from Georgia, which is technically a bourbon. And then only 2% of Tennessee whiskey, which, you know, part of why I brought out the Dickel. Only 2%, which is exciting because a lot of time these Bardstown releases are overwhelmingly Tennessee. So I'm so excited to see that there's only 2%. Hopefully it does not overtake the flavor. But did want to share that with y'all. Of course, MSRP on this is $140. I won't get into the tasting notes and things like that, but I just wanted y'all to have that on the screen so y'all can see what all went into this whiskey. Oh, don't worry, Toronto will make its appearance. I keep putting that on the poll. Y'all almost vote for it every time. That's why I keep putting it back up there. The wife loves Beetlejuice, so I've seen it like 30 times. Wow. Just killed Old Granddad 114, another great summer whiskey. I swear, even though it's high proof. Love that one. And Brandon just finished the Still Austin Cask Strength, moved on to Kirkland Small Batch. Baller night over here. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's not about price. Cheech Artolino in the chat. Cheers to you. Tennessee does not agree with you, Cliffy. Hey, nothing wrong with Tennessee. I love me some Jack Daniels, but certain Tennessee distilleries don't quite do it for me. But you know what? When there's only 2%, I'm okay with that. But let me make sure we're all set here. And by that, I mean, like, I'm turning on my AC because I am hot. It's a hot summer day here, y'all. Okay. But yeah, let's cleanse the palate. Let's get a little bit of that Dickel out of my mouth and move on to the Bardstown Bourbon Company. All right. So it actually, so Fred, let me clarify. It does not say corn whiskey. It's just 80% corn. I was talking about how it seemed like a high corn mash bill. So apologies. Yeah, it's not a corn whiskey. It is a bourbon. What makes a summer whiskey? Great question. To me, well, for one, I think I love having, like I said, whiskey on ice over the summer. To me, that's always my go-to. High proof usually, whether it's like Elijah Craig or Stag Junior. Stag Junior used to be my go-to summer whiskey, of course, several years ago now. But yeah, I like the brighter, lighter. And, I drink a lot of Irish whiskey in the summer too. Like some of the fruitier things, I think those really do well either over ice or just when you're outdoors and I don't know warm weather. I don't typically like the darker, spicier whiskeys during the summer. I think I tend to go towards the fruitier ones. That's for me personally. So I'm curious what about you guys. What do y'all drink during the summer usually? Garrison Brothers honeysuckle. Oh, nice. So are you talking about Garrison Brothers the honey whiskey, the honey infused one, or are you talking about just like the flavor note? You get honeysuckle on it. Because Garrison Brothers honey, that's a great one. Yeah. Anything infused. Like there's also a Traverse City cherry whiskey that's also really great. Super fruity. But I mean, when I say fruity, I don't mean necessarily the flavored ones, but I mean the ones that have some really strong fruit notes. So great choices. Love me some Redbreast 12 cast strength. Me too. Me too. All right, let's dive into this Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series. Like I said, cannot wait to try this. I did pour to share some with my friend Todd, who is a bourbon terabyte, which is my $50 tier. If y'all are curious about that, I put up a preview on Patreon. That's where you get a monthly, I call it a subscription box because legalities, but you get a monthly tasting with me, not one-on-one, but like a small group, maximum of 5 people. You get samples, we taste through them, and this is one of the ones I sent out this month. So if y'all want to get in on that for next month, definitely check that out. It's such a fun experience. I do that every month, and of course my friend Todd has been there since the start, so shout out to Todd Cooper, my bourbon terabyte. But yeah, so he got a sample of this. I'm trying it with him this weekend, so I'm excited to maybe do a little preview here tonight, some first impressions. Nimrock says, agree, lighter, brighter fruit flavors. That's my summer jam, unless I'm grilling or smoking. Then you have to go with scotch and heavy peat. Well, this BizarreBQ might be for you. I can't wait to get into that one. Um, Emily says, ice, bourbon, lemon. So bourbon, lemon on ice for the summer. Nice. So like a whiskey sour kind of thing. I had whiskey sours on Dungeons and Drams on Monday. So if y'all haven't seen that, definitely check it out. All right, let's go to Nose, the Bardstown Bourbon Company. All right. Well, a bit, I may have prematurely called this a summer whiskey because I'm getting a lot of those cinnamon spices up front. But it's a summer release, so you know what? It's still a summer whiskey in my book. Yeah, this one's like got some really nice like clove going on with it. And proof wise, what I say it was 114.24, so it's pretty up there. It's got a little bit of like it's giving wild turkey a little bit. Not that I know what's in here. They did give the mash bills, but didn't really research what the potential mash bills are. But it's got some wild turkey characteristics to it for sure. Reminds me a lot of Rare Breed, which I actually had a pour of last night. So that's just maybe it's just fresh on my brain, but it is kind of reminding me a lot of some wild turkey spiciness there. Behind that, there's a little bit of like a it's like a spicy kind of. That's weird. Okay, so it's reminding you of something savory, like a savory dish. Maybe some it's like weird, but like not fried rice, but maybe like Mexican style rice with some like peppers in it. It's got some of that like savory goodness coming off, but also some like Indian spice, a little bit of curry. Wow. Again, not typical Sunday summer notes at all, but something really savory behind there as well. I mean, that's your whole spice rack in a glass. Doesn't smell super sweet. Now remember, there's some older whiskey in here. Like I said, mostly 9 to 13 years old for the most part. There's some good aged Kentucky whiskey in here, which I'm always a fan of. Yeah, that's this. It's definitely surprising me on the nose, but I can't wait to give it a try. So let's try Bardstown Discovery Series 10. Cheers, y'all, and thanks for tuning in this Thursday evening. First Thursday of summer, first thirsty Thursday of summer, as I like to say. Cheers. Ooh, some nuttiness creeping up there as well. It's very fruity on the palate. Okay, it's back. It's back in my summertime territory now. It's got a bit of little bit of orange, like like a good old fashioned that has the orange, like the even especially if you like do a little smoky on the orange. What do you call it? Orange rind? Not that's not the word. Orange skin? I don't know. Orange peel. There we go. I was like orange flesh. That doesn't sound very good. But sometimes like if you're in a fancy cocktail bar, they'll like light the underside of it and it'll kind of really bring out those oils. I'm getting a lot of that. It's got a little bit of smoky char in it as well. Really, really nice. That is a cocktail. That over ice. Oh man, maybe I've just found my summer whiskey of 2023. Like I said, the nose got me. I was like, oh man, this is probably not a summer whiskey. Palate. Wow. That orange just jumps out of the glass for me. It's like a darker orange, like almost like some of those you know what this reminds me of? Have y'all ever had that fancy like chocolate bar that has like chocolate, I think it's like orange and like spice. It's like chili orange chocolate. I know I can see the label in my like in front of me. Cannot think of the brand name. This has some of that. It has some of that again, that kick that I got on the nose, the savoriness. But it's really bright. It's really orangey, but it's also dark and rich and luscious, kind of like some chocolate. This is great. This is really, really good. I think Discovery Series always surprises me. Sometimes, when they were using a lot of Tennessee, I was let down a little bit. But man, they've really found where they excel. And this is an excellent addition to the Discovery Series line. I mean, Bardstown Bourbon Company, there's a few brands out there that I think excel with the blending just as much as the distilling. I think Bardstown Bourbon Company, they really shine with the blending. I think they're distilling, they're still kind of early, they're still trying out their own stuff, but where they shine is their blending. You take some really great core pieces, maybe some not so great core pieces, mix them together, and you make a fantastic product like Discovery Series 10. I mean, who would have thought Georgia whiskey could have such a delicious flavor? I mean, not that the flavors necessarily coming from that, but there are some interesting flavors that I've never gotten before, which makes me feel like that maybe the Georgia whiskey in there. Really, really fantastic. Man, I can't recommend this enough. For 140, you're getting cast strength, you're getting some older whiskey. Definitely pick this one up. Give it a try. It's a winner. Flamed orange peel garnish. Exactly. Yeah. It's got some nice spicy cinnamon, but also some orange. It's like I said, it's a cocktail. Really, really good cocktail. Stacy's here, 4 Leaf Whiskey. She says, I want to not like Bardstown because of the price, but darn it, I really like it. That's how I feel too. I feel like some of their blends, like the Fusion series, are always hit or miss for me. This one, the Discovery, has really, really been impressing me. So I do recommend this one. Just Fusion's a lot more affordable of a bottle, but it also has some younger whiskeys in it. This though, you're getting high proof whiskey, highly aged whiskey, and just some damn good blending. So well done, Bardstown. Uh, it might be a fancier finding lid. I'm trying to think. There's a specific one. It's got like a white packaging. I see it in the grocery stores all the time. But maybe it's like a whole solid bar. Yeah, y'all are nailing. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm good to see that. Tim Evans, cheers to you. Welcome. Happy Thursday. All right. So, like I said, we're going to come back to these bourbon truffles in a bit. I cannot wait to try this side by side with that. But we have to move on to another new release whiskey. Like I said, I showed this at the beginning. This is Clermont Steep, American single malt from Jim Beam. Believe it or not, they released a 100% malted barley release. Super exciting. American single malts have just they're not that they're just like now popping up. They've been popping up for a while, but I feel like more established brands are starting to come out with them now. They're starting to say like, hey, this thing isn't just a trend anymore. It's like catching on. So this was actually a 5-year-old release. They actually have a really fun website. Let me share that real quick. Because I was looking at it right before this stream. Yeah, they went all out with the branding here. Let me just show this. I love good marketing. Hey, I work in marketing, so whenever I see a brand that does some really good marketing, I have to show it off a little bit. But so this is the website for Clermont Steep. So we zoom in here. I don't know, do a little smoother. Look at that. Look at that. And it gives you the tasty notes. Of course, I don't like looking at those until I taste it first. All in a single grain, American single malt whiskey. Look at that. Got over ice over there. Beautiful imagery. So it does a little comparison showing you the difference between this and their bourbon. So American single malt whiskey and it's a comparison between bourbon and Scotch and where American single malt whiskey aligns. So of course it's the same grain as Scotch, 100% malted barley. Has to be a single distillery apparently. They're still defining American single malt. So some of this is new to me. I didn't realize that. I guess it makes sense to be called a single malt. It has to be a single distillery. But um, yeah, just some legal definitions there. Province, USA, of course, American, and liquid differentiator. So it can be peated, it can be unpeated, or it can be a malt variety. So it's interesting they say malt variety compared to peated, unpeated with Scotch. I'm curious what they mean by malt variety. They think you can maybe mix different malted barleys. That's really interesting. I've never seen that classification there, so I'm curious what they mean by what makes it different by the malt variety. I do know that they tell you this one. It is made with, there's some more info on the back here. The fermentation is heirloom jug yeast recipe. But it's not really the malted barley. It says 100% hand selected malted barley. So they do use a heirloom yeast in this as well. So Joseph Brazo in the chat. Good to see you, Joseph. Emily says white label spread. Oh, white label chocolate. Was thinking this one. Oh, maybe I can't click on that one while I'm streaming, but I will check that out after. That might be it. James said the single and single malt simply means that the whiskey is for the product of a single distillery. A single malt can contain whiskey from many different casks, but must have been produced by one distillery. Great knowledge there. Yeah, I guess I always just thought it just meant it had to be 100% malted barley. I never really considered the fact that it has to be from one distillery. Y'all always come in with the knowledge drops. All right, so I just poured some of the Clermont Steep. By the way, they have a really interesting cork. It kind of looks like concrete. Like it's also a little heavy. So at first I was like, did they like just like do concrete? Is there like, it's hard to see the texture there, but it kind of, I don't know, it's got some like texture to it too. I was like, oh my God, it's a little heavy too, but I don't think it's concrete, but it has that aesthetic though. It's really interesting. All right. Oh, and of course, it wouldn't be a Bourbon Bite stream without spilling whiskey on my keyboard. If you, like I said, if y'all missed it on Dungeons and Dragons, I did that. But I just a drop this time, just a drop. All right, let's go and give this Clermont Steep American Single Malt from Jim Beam Distilling a nose. How interesting! I've never would have thought they would have done this. Okay, it's toasty. I do say they use 100%. So it's aged for 60 months in new American oak. So they treat it like the whole bourbon process, right? It's going into new oak. You can tell there's some nice color on it. Definitely different than like a, aged in like a used bourbon barrel. This is new oak, really dark for 5 years old. Single malt. I mean, I'm impressed based on the color alone. But on the nose, I'm getting some of those notes as well. It's darker, it's richer. It's not quite like a bourbon. I wouldn't be confused by thinking this is a bourbon. It's got that malted barley quality to it. That's the first thing you get. But behind there's some really nice, darker, richer notes there. Cannot wait to give this a try. By the way, price $55. Like not bad at all. For a 5-year-old American single malt, an experiment, I would say. Definitely give it a try. Or I guess I should not say that until I try it. Let me give it a try. And while you're there, hit the thumbs up button because it does really help the YouTube algorithm. So I appreciate all y'all here, but make sure to hit the thumbs up. It does, like I said, help things out. Helps people find this stream that might be looking for this whiskey, looking for reviews. Hey, I'm going to put the time codes down below so you can skip to this part of it. But yeah, let's try it. Cheers, y'all. Happy summer. Okay. You have my attention, Clermont Steep. Whoa. Unlike anything I've ever tasted. Like, that's my first impression. Very different. Like I said, I tried the Yellowstone a couple weeks back. That was also an American single malt, also aged in new American oak. This is like completely different. On the front of the palate, you obviously get the malted barley quality to it. If you don't like that, you know what? You may not like this, but give it a shot because once you get beyond that initial like hit of that malted barley, there's a overwhelming depth to it. That sounds so strange just saying, but it's like as you swallow it, there's a whirlwind of flavors that you would not have picked up on at the front of the palate. I need another sip. I can't describe that without having another sip. Like up here, it's traditional, but then you swallow. how do I even describe that? Floral, yes, but sweet dessert shop, like it's like walking to Willy Wonka's factory and you try like a new like creation from him, because when you swallow, it's so different of a taste than on the front of the palate. Has anyone in the chat tried this yet? Please let me know I'm not crazy. That's so interesting, and I wonder if that's from that. We know, like I said, the mash bill is 100% malted barley, but do you think it's from the new oak and being aged in Kentucky? That's so. I've never experienced anything that tastes like this before in my life. I'm really curious. Yeah. Vanilla toffee. Toffee would probably be the closest to that, but it's really light. It's hefty and like, I don't even want to say hefty because it's like so light up front. The front of the palate is like younger oak, a little bit floral, maybe a little honeysuckle. But as you let it linger and sit, it gets rich, it gets creamy. Cowtail's candy, like those I've given this note before, but like those like cream stuffed caramels, it's got that. But it's like that mixed with some chocolate, maybe some like chocolate melted ice cream. I know I feel like I'm going crazy with these tasting notes. They're unlike anything I've ever had before, but this is unlike any spirit I've had before. Well done, Jim Beam. Y'all, give this a try. $55. This is a welcome addition to my bar because it's so unlike anything I've had before. That's fun. Fun is the best descriptor of this one. And what says summer like fun, right? Like it's the best description of what you want from a summer whiskey. That is something. It's almost like a upfront. Sorry, I was reading your comment, not up front. Whiskey Fancy says, I'm hefty and light up front too. Hello, Whiskey Fancies. Cheers to you. Yeah, now this one's, I'm going to have to spend some time with this one because just first impression, it's blowing my mind. It's so out there. I've convinced James. Yeah, y'all come back to this video. If y'all try it and you get a similar experience or a different experience, leave a comment below because it's just weird. It's weird, but like in a very, very good way. Now, I did say I would compare it to this one. This is one I got a couple weeks back. This is the Yellowstone American Single Malt. Now, this one is a Kentucky brand, but it was actually sourced from Indiana. So it is an Indiana one, but it's also new American oaked. It's also, yeah, there's no age statement, I don't think, but I think it's at least 4 years old. Shall we do a comparison? Y'all want to see that? I might as well, right? I do remember that my first impression of this limestone branch was not ideal. Didn't have the best first impression. Let's revisit it though. I'm curious. I don't think it's anywhere close. It's, first of all, color-wise, it's way lighter. I mean, that is like some, I don't even know how to describe that color. It's like some Chardonnay or something. Maybe a little bit darker than Chardonnay. Yeah, wow. I can't imagine this will be anywhere close to that Clermont Steep. Again, like the other one, barley up front. This one's less toasty though. This one's more raw grain, a little bit like sour smelling on the nose. Yeah, I'm not getting much age on this at all on the nose. It's very, very green. That's what I'll describe it as. Also, just get a little bit of like a winey characteristic, like a little bit of like the fermented wine, like not fermented wine, but like a little bit like a mash note, like from a distillery. All right, let's try the Yellowstone. Yeah, still doesn't do it for me. Like I said, I reviewed this a few weeks back. This one doesn't do it for me. I know some people are really big fans of this one. It's just for me, it's too, that grain is too up front and there's not much oak to balance it out. The Yellowstone's a pass for me. I mean, I'll finish it because why not, right? It's Thursday night. I gotta get some liquid courage for the after party hangout after the stream for patrons only. Oof. Yeah, that was a little rough. It just tastes a little like, I don't want to say unrefined, just like rude, right? But it tastes like it needs more age on it. You know, they say they use new American oak, but like, it's not nearly as much of an impact as the Clermont Steep. The Clermont Steep, you can taste that oak. This one you really can. William says, love single malts in general. Started with Scotch single malt snob. Yellowstone single malt is great. Need to try the Clermont. Have you had Stranahan's? No, I think actually you may have mentioned that when I reviewed the Yellowstone. Have not had anything from Stranahan's. I'd love to try it. Again, single malt, American single malt is a category that like is so new to me, and I love experiencing different versions of it. Like I said, Yellowstone's not for me, but I know a lot of people do love it. But yeah, there's so much variety there. So I definitely prefer the Clermont Steep. I'd be curious, William, for you to try this one. I'm curious your thoughts. If you love the Yellowstone, curious, do you like this one or do you not like this one? Because they're very, very different for sure. I have had Westward out of Oregon, has some solid single malts. Yeah, I did a American single malt exploratory stream with a company called Beverage a few months back around the holidays, where I tried a bunch of different single malts, but I did not have Yellowstone or Clermont Streep. What I said Clermont Streep, like Meryl Streep. Oh my god, that'd be cool if she had. If Meryl Streep had a whiskey, I would buy cases of it. I don't even care like how it tasted. I love Meryl Streep. Let's see. I mentioned Stranahan's. Great. So, that was you, Fred. Okay, yeah. Have not had Stranahan's, but I would love to try it. Y'all are welcome. Hey, if y'all ever have a whiskey that you're excited about and you want me to try, let me know. Email me, contact@bourbonbites.com. Shoot me a message on Instagram. Would love to take your whiskey. I'm just kidding. No, but I love to try new things. So if y'all ever want to send me a sample of something, please let me know. I'd love to review it on the channel. I need to do a sample catch-up stream where I try a bunch of samples you guys have sent. I have a drawer of them and they're adding up quickly. So I'd love to yeah, just do another viewer sample stream. And Rex says, I remember the stream. I got the beverage pack because oh, that's right. I think you won that, right? I think you were the Wheel of Whiskey winner. Courage and Conviction is another great American single malt. Great choice. Yeah, I did a stream with Bill from the Whiskey Dick a while back ago where we tasted through several of their expressions, and there's so many brands popping up. They're so excited. Such an exciting category. I could go on and on, but it's time to move to some Ardbeg, shall we? Let's go off the deep end. Let's go to the ultimate summer barbecue whiskey. Let me rinse out. This is water, by the way. I'm progressively losing my voice more and more I stream, so I appreciate y'all sticking with me. Let's see. Oh, another fun website. Y'all know I'm a sucker for marketing. If there's a good website, I gotta share it. Again, I bought this myself, so not sponsored, but look at this website. How fun. All right, so BizarreBQ limited edition. There's another look at the art there. Let's see. All right. You start with a harebrained idea. You bring together 3 unique casks, 2 masters in their own right, and a whole lot of heat and smoke. What do you get? Distillery's first ever barbecue-inspired whiskey, Ardbeg BizarreBQ. Cooked up by renowned master distiller Dr. Bill Lumsden, alongside bona fide god of the grill, Christian Stevenson, a.k.a. DJ Barbecue. This mouth-watering malt packs a meaty, peaty punch. Some tasty notes there. It's non-chill filtered. It's aged in double charred oak cask, PX sherry cask, and barbecue cask. Okay, tell me more. Barbecue cask, what does that even mean? It is a non-age dated release, 50.9% ABV. What is barbecue cask? Now I'm curious. What do they tell me about that? Do they tell me anything on the bottle? Nothing on that side. Here we go. Ardbeg BizarreBQ has been matured in a combination of double charred oak cask, PX sherry cask, and our unique barbecue cask. That doesn't tell me anything. What is a barbecue cask? Ardbeg, I must know. Are you smoking meat? Surely not, right? They're not smoking meat and then putting the whiskey in that cask. That'd be a little weird. But I am very much intrigued. What a perfect summer whiskey. I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina. Barbecue is my jam. You know what? I don't even discriminate. Like, I'm from the Carolinas, but like Texas barbecue, Kansas City barbecue, where are all the other ones? St. Louis barbecue. Oh man, there's so many different types. I don't discriminate. I love my smoked meat. I don't care. A lot of them are just differences in the sauces, the rubs used. I do love a dry rub. I think I grew up eating, mostly like wet rub, like not ribs even. I would just have like pulled pork or brisket or things like that. But not recently, but like in the past 5 years, discovered dry rub ribs, and that is just, if I see that, that's my go-to barbecue. Now I do love a little sauce on the side, but dry rub ribs, like, oh my god, heaven. So BizarreBQ, you have a reputation to stand up to. You promised me barbecue in a glass. Let's see how it compares. Let's go ahead and give it a nose. Oh, Memphis barbecue, great. Yeah, Donnie, y'all, I'm sure there's so much different barbecue out there. Ardbeg got me at the barbecue part. Yep, same. Did you get this from K&L? They had this for a while, so I'm curious if you got it there as well. So I got mine. Campfire is a barbecue chip in a bottle. I haven't had campfire in a minute. I really want that Ardbeg. Ardbeg. Yeah, this isn't Ardbeg. That is a different release. I have reviewed that one, but this is not the first barbecue inspired though. Whistle Pig did a collab with Trigger. Wasn't that good. Okay, I think they said it's their first. So I believe that's what it said. Their first barbecue inspired Ardbeg. So I don't think they're claiming to be the very first, because I know what's the Balcones Brimstone is also, I think they meant the first Ardbeg though. Dry rub ribs is Memphis. William says dry rub is the only way when talking about ribs. Yeah, I think I recently, like I said, recently discovered, like within the past 5 years, and I've just been, holy crap, my mind's blown. I love barbecue already, but dry rub ribs are just, so good. James, with the info drop, love that. For the barbecue cast, the wood was toasted to a specific intensity to achieve a flavor profile that evokes the tangy, sweet, and savory qualities of barbecue. Okay, they're really hyping this up. Thank you, James, for the knowledge drop. Total Wine, nice. I think I saw it pop up there as well. Their first, yeah, there we go. Bonus thumbs up. Hi, Cliffy. Hey, Tony. Thank you so much for the bonus thumbs up. I appreciate it, man. All right, let's go to nose. Ardbeg BizarreBQ. Well, first of all, it's Ardbeg through and through on the nose. It's meaty. It's got a little bit of like a, no, I mean, it's meaty, but like more meaty than usual. And I feel like maybe I'm being influenced by the barbecue, but it's almost reminding me of like a beef jerky, like a teriyaki beef jerky on the nose. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's definitely something extra going on there. It's almost like a not quite. Reminds me of a hickory smoke. Not gonna lie, again, I could be influenced by the name, but it has a sweeter. I mean, they do say the casts are like a sweeter, but it's like a sweeter, like that's why I got the teriyaki. But yeah, it's almost like a hickory smoked, like smoke flavor. Not like artificial smoke, but like kind of. Whoa, that's definitely the meatiest Ardbeg I've ever smelled. And that's a good sign, because I do like that. But let's see if it stands up to the name, BizarreBQ. Let's try it. Cheers. Okay. Less sweet on the palate. James, don't quote me. They're not going to use this in their marketing at all. But it's more of like the burnt ends. Have y'all ever had like burnt ends from barbecue? The extra charred bits with a little bit of fat on the end. That's what it reminds me of. It's definitely charry, like super like dark, like you scrape the barrel for this one. I like that. I could see maybe some people may not like that level of char. It's definitely, I mean, the name's suiting. I mean, it's like you scrape the you scrape the grill after like grilling some delicious meat on it. You just got like the extra like burnt bits, and you're just still hungry, so you scrape those onto your plate. Do not recommend, but I'm just saying, it does have that extra char. That's a great release. I mean, man, that just alone, it doesn't quite satisfy my need for barbecue, but it sure does make me want some barbecue. It's really freaking good. Love that one. There must be char in those barrels extra heavy. I think so too, man. There is so much char. It almost tastes like I am expecting to find the grittiness of char. I don't. It's not gritty at all, but it does have that characteristic. Like it is going to be super charred. Ardbeg and ribs on a smoker, a night to remember. That sounds. Speaking my language, William. My mouth's watering. Cheers, folks. Cheers to you, Viking Bourbon. Good to see you. I wonder if those barbecue casts were virgin oak. I've had virgin oak matured Edderdour that tastes like barbecue. If BizarreBQ is burnt ends, then I must have it. Oh yeah, Donnie. Donnie, you will love this. I can just tell you right now. I think this is right up your alley. Love that char flavor. Love burnt ends. Oh man, y'all gotta try this one. I mean, I think all of these are great. The Bardstown Discovery Series is an absolutely solid release in the lineup. Well worth the price. Clermont Steep, fun experiment. Does something weird in my mouth. I don't know how I feel about it, but it feels mostly good. Love that one. And then Ardbeg BizarreBQ is just burnt end charry goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm in heaven. I mean, if this is my summer spread, I am a happy boy all summer. If I had to pick a favorite, these are all so different. The one that excites me the most, let me try the Clermont Steep again. I think I'll be honest. The Clermont Steep excites me the most because it's the most different and unique thing I've tried in a long, long time. I mean, even going back to it, it has a nice like apple juice quality, which is like so weird, like unlike what I said earlier. But this one's just, I'm gonna have to spend some time with this one. This one's just like so unique. Donnie, I saw your question asking how much it was. I'm actually looking that up now. I paid 89.99 for it, so $90 for the BizarreBQ. For those curious, I dare you to drop some pepper in it, a splash of Worcestershire. Never mind, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, in the BizarreBQ. Oh, maybe for the hangout. I don't know if I'll do that on the stream. Maybe that's a hangout activity. Whiskey Dick is here. What's up, Bill? I've name dropped you like 3 times during the stream, but y'all go check out the Whiskey Dick. I was referencing our Courage and Conviction stream we did a while back ago, as well as me spilling my whiskey sour, which you very so generously clipped for your YouTube short. I saw my face on my YouTube shorts this morning. I'm like, no. Thank you for that, Bill. Thank you so much. Well, you just drank burnt ends, so that steep must be wild. Oh, it is. It is. So I think the Clermont Steep is my favorite side because it's so interesting. But flavor-wise, I mean, this Ardbeg BizarreBQ, this, you know, I don't want to say this may become my summer whiskey, but I think these all 3 are my new favorite summer whiskeys. So well done. All these. It was a random theme. It wasn't fully like fully thought out, but I think every single one lived up to the name. You're a celebrity and deserve to have your face plastered on people's face. Hey, it's my own face on my own page. I don't want to see me on my For You page. Is all I gotta say. All right, I promised y'all I would come back to these bourbon truffles. So let me reset my palate. Let me do a little cleanse with some water. Drink more water, y'all. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so hot. Like it's not even. I checked my thermostat. And it's like 71. It just must be that summer vibes. I'm just like sweating, or maybe I'm just really enjoying this whiskey. I don't know. It got me all hot and bothered. All right, so we're gonna try these Bardstown Bourbon Company bourbon infused truffles infused with Discovery Series 10. So let me revisit Discovery Series 10 just to remind myself what I loved about it. Again, the nose threw me off, but the palate really, really did impress me. A little bit different after coming off of the Ardbeg. Way sweeter, less spicy though than I think it was when I first poured it. But all those really great, like rich cinnamony flavors. It's almost more like a cinnamon sugar now than like a spicy cinnamon. Still doesn't remind me a lot of turkey, but really, really great blending there. Oh, so good. All right, we got to try one of these bourbon truffles. I've never had a bourbon truffle. I'm so excited. Thank you, Bill. Make sure to hit the like button. Yes, before you guys go, please hit that thumbs up button. All right, let me show you all these. They're so cute. Focus. Come on. They have a cute little bee on them. And they give you instructions. I've never had a chocolate with instructions on it before, but let me read these instructions. Our truffles are best enjoyed in 2 bites. For the first bite, let it sit on your tongue for a moment and begin to melt a little. The initial chocolate will give way to the bourbon and open your palate to the flavors. Much in the same way, the first sip of bourbon helps prepare you to taste it more fully. Reading is hard after drinking whiskey all night. With the next bite, savor it as the bourbon flavor intensifies and deepens. You'll get all the signature flavors notes of the spirit and even a nice finish, much as you would when sipping a fine bourbon. It's a bourbon experience outside the bottle. Here's the QR code for the chocolatier here. So if y'all are curious, we'll see how this is, but you can save that, screenshot that for later. Let's go and give this bourbon truffle a try. Never had one of these before. But let's do what they say, 2 bites, right? All right. super rich. I mean, not very sweet at all. I mean, I have been drinking bourbon, but it's like halfway between a fudge and a brownie. I do feel like since I've been drinking bourbon tonight, it's a little hard to pick out specifically what gives it that bourbon note. I forgot to let it sit on my tongue. I'm sorry. I'm hungry. I'll do that with the second bite. But yeah, really, really rich. Oh, on the back end, I get that oakiness. Okay, it's coming through. Let me do that. Take two. Let's let it sit on the tongue with a second bite. Mm-hmm. Second bite's even better. I only really notice the whiskey when I'm like breathing in. I do feel like there is some of like the, not the fumes, but like the essence of the whiskey as I'm breathing in. I do get that oakiness. A bit of that, I was gonna say like the sweetness, but I think that's just coming from the chocolate. But damn, that's really good. I'm not gonna lie and pretend like, oh my god, it tastes like so much like whiskey. I don't really get that. That's a really good chocolate. Well done, y'all. Now sip some of the Bardstown. All right, I like. You know what? I love my chocolate with instructions, but I love my chat with even more instructions. I'm a little bit of a. I was gonna say, I was gonna get weird. I was gonna be like a little bit of a sub or simp or whatever you want to call me. That's for my bourbon daddy only. All right, let's try the Bardstown after. Ooh, it tingles in a different way than before. That just like reinvigorated everything going on in my mouth. That's what you do. Thank you for the tip, Donnie. Yeah, that wow. It, you know what's funny? It's like I thought that the sweetness of the chocolate would like overpower the bourbon. But coming back to the bourbon, it's changing it a bit. I am getting more of the spicy notes than the sweet notes. Yeah. That oak and that orange peel are really prominent. It's less sweet coming back to it after the chocolate, but what a delightful into the stream. I again was not expecting everything to impress me. It all did. I encourage you to try all three of these if you can. Clermont Steep has my attention because it's so different, but BizarreBQ, Bardstown Discovery Series 10, wonderful, wonderful summer whiskeys. Hey, like I said, come back to the stream if you try these. Feel free to comment below. I love reading your comments. I read all of them and I reply to as many as I can. Let me know what you think of these. I am so curious to hear what you think of any of these. Yeah, good chocolate isn't overly sweet. Agreed, Emily. Yeah, this is not the case here. It's balanced so well with the sweetness of the whiskey. Really great pairing there. So well done, Bardstown Bourbon Company, but also well done to all the whiskeys featured here tonight. Want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons, including the newest patrons. Again, like last week, I have not updated my end graphic. I promised to have updated it and I didn't. So I'm going to give a couple manual shout outs because y'all know I love you. Let's see. Our newest patrons go to William Hall, the newest Bourbon Megabyte, Tony Curtis, the newest Bourbon Bite, Tony, the other Tony. I mean, we're going back to April now, but Tony Bag of Donuts is a Bourbon Megabyte. Ryan Nimrax, David Rosas, Kathy Joe, of course, 21090, Joseph Brazo, Aaron Artino, Caleb, Sean Moore, all the amazing patrons here. I realized I was reading names that are no longer patrons, but they're still supporters of the channel. So thank you all so much. I will update that graphic next week. I keep saying that, but I'll do it. Cheers to y'all. Happy summer. Go out, enjoy your whiskey however you like it. Let me know your favorite summer whiskeys in the comments below. Cheers to all of y'all and to all my patrons. I know there are many of you here that I didn't read out names. Y'all, there's like 40 of y'all. Like I can't read them all out right now, but I appreciate y'all so much. Cheers. See y'all next week. And until then, this has been Bourbon Bites, whiskey reviews with an 80s twist. Let me know about the Beetlejuice tomorrow. Otherwise, we're watching it in a couple weeks. But cheers. See y'all next week. Bye.